Hey, welcome to an LA Life podcast. It's a Wednesday, August 16th. Hopefully things are going well for you. You're having a good week. If you've got kids back in school, I hope that that's good for everybody. If you're a teacher, keep teaching, keep enjoying that. Whatever you're doing today, again, that's my prayers. It's a good day. Let me get going today. This is a week of funerals for me. And it happens to all of us, happens as a pastor. Missing out. We went to 2 yesterday. We're going to 1 today. And then I'm doing one, leading a funeral on Friday. And so it just happens. There's just a week of funerals. We need to attend. We need to go. We need to be a part of these things. And when you go to a funeral, there's all kinds of emotions, right? When you walk in, you have all kinds of emotions. The family has all kinds of emotions. I wrote down a few. So you have some emotions like you're mad. Some people are upset and mad. Some are glad. In fact, the one that we're going to this morning, while the family is going to miss their loved one, they're glad that their dad is going to heaven. He's no longer suffering here. In fact, that was their prayer that they had asked was, would you pray that my dad goes ahead and takes his last breath and goes to heaven? There's the sad emotion that I think is there for all, because you will miss your loved one. Some are angry. Kind of goes along with the emotion of mad. And then some people are afraid. They're not really sure how they're going to get along, what they're going to do. They're afraid of maybe what's next or where their loved one is at. And here's what I would say, as somebody who does a lot of funerals and goes to a lot of them, there's really no bad feeling to have. And in fact, I would say it this way: it's okay not to be okay. Right? So when you're in a funeral, when you go to a funeral, when you have a loved one who has passed on, it's okay not to be okay. You have to go through a grieving process. And so it's okay if you're crying. It's okay if you're sad. It's okay to have the feelings of being mad and angry and frustrated. I mean, those are normal emotions that we have when we go to a funeral. Scripture tells us that Jesus wept when he went to his friend Lazarus, before Lazarus was raised from the dead. So emotion is okay. It's okay not to be okay. But I want to read one verse this morning out of 1 Thessalonians. The Apostle Paul writes this: "But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers." This is 1 Thessalonians 4. "But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope." When Paul says that those who are asleep, he means those who are dead. But it's that next section. He says that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope. People who have no hope of their loved one being in heaven with Jesus grieve differently. It is a loss. It's a forever loss. They don't know, or they know that they're never going to see him again. But those of us that know Jesus, when our loved one passes away, when they take their last breath, we go through the emotions. Again, sad, mad, angry, afraid. Those are normal emotions. That's why I said it's okay not to be okay. But the difference is when we grieve, knowing that our loved one knew Jesus and Jesus knew them, we have hope. We know that for right now, we're not going to see them. But in the future, when we take our last breath, when we're called home, we're going to be reunited with them. And that's hope. And that hope comes through Jesus. And so here's really the question then today for you to think about this midweek Wednesday teaching. Do you know that you're going to die? Right? That's the question. Do you know that you're going to die? Knowing that, what do we do now to make sure that we have hope for eternity with Jesus? Here's what I wrote down. Ask someone. If you're not sure about this hope, if you're not sure about Jesus and where you're at, ask someone. I have friends that teach at Bachelor Creek, at Treaty, at College Corner, at the River in Marion. I have friends that are teaching all over. So you don't have to just come to LaFountain Christian Church to ask that question. You can ask others. I've got friends that are teachers in our schools, students. You could ask them. Parents, you can tell your students to ask them if you're not sure how this works. I've got 2 buddies that cut hair, Center Court Barbershop. Those 2 guys can help you out and tell you about Jesus. Right? There's a lot of people that can talk to you about this idea of having hope in Jesus Christ. Because the question is, and it's really a statement, the statement is, you are going to die. Do you know Jesus? Well, we want you to know Jesus because with Jesus, there's hope for life after earth. There you go. Midweek teaching. Love you guys. Hope to see you this week, 9 o'clock, 10:30 Sundays, LaFountain Christian Church. Have a great day.